All right, guys, welcome back. This week we're just going to do a quick 10-minute breakdown on UFC 260. Got 10 fights as of right now, Friday evening. I'm recording this. About 24 hours from now, we're going to be starting the prelims. Got 5 fights on pay-per-view with, of course, the heavyweight rematch for the absolute baddest man on the planet, Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic. The winner will be crowned the baddest man. We all know what happened in that first fight. UFC 220 a few years back. Francis in round 1 looked incredible, came out swinging, gave it everything he got. He put Stipe in some really bad positions for the first 2 minutes, 30 seconds of the round. Stipe then finally is able to get the takedown. Once he gets the takedown, Stipe then just is able to wear Francis out. Francis looks lost. Stipe ends up kind of going for a guillotine, and in that, Francis stands up, and Francis is able to stand back up. And he actually gets Stipe in trouble at the end of round 1 again, but Stipe is able to get him down with like 5 seconds left, then able to ride it out. And of course, once round 2 started, and for the rest of the fight, we know how it went. Francis was shot cardio-wise. So the question we got here, guys, what Francis Ngannou are we going to get? What Stipe Miocic are we going to get? So Stipe, in the meantime, he's going to be about 15, I think it's like 14 pounds less than what he was the first time that he fought Francis at UFC 220. And when you see that off the bat, you go, whoa, that seems like a lot, because he was already like 15 pounds below Francis. Now he's going to be like 30 pounds. That's crazy. But guys, here's the thing you got to remember. This has been a gradual thing for Stipe. Stipe, if you look at his weight numbers actually throughout, he's actually put on a couple pounds since his last weigh-ins. I think he's like 3 or 4 pounds heavier than he was. I think he's in the mid 230s right now. So it's right around a 30-pound thing. I don't think it's a big deal, but that's really going to be the cardio and speed advantage for Stipe to take over late. The question is he going to be able to absorb the shot of Francis? And we all know Francis has switched teams. He's drastically improved. Granted, when he fought for that first championship, he had only been fighting in the sport, I believe, 2.5 years. And when I say the sport, I mean MMA in general, not even the UFC. This guy's story is incredible. Highly, highly recommend check it out. He's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, but the crazy thing is Stipe Miocic is my favorite fighter in the UFC, so this is a really tough one for me, guys. I am probably going to be only doing prop bets on this just because this is a really, really tough one to bet because we don't know what we're going to get. I mean, Francis has got brand new coaches that he's been with the last few fights. He's looked incredible. But is he ready? And is he going to tamper that first round blitz that he had and kind of just come in and spread it out and maybe try to stretch the fight and so he doesn't dump all the way? Or is he just going to go for it all? Because I'll tell you what, no matter what, with Francis having cardio and standing, if he can keep on the feet, which has to do, I think, also with his cardio as well, I really think he'll be able to just constantly put Stipe in trouble just because of how hard he hits. And he seems to be able to absorb any shot as well. So that's just a tough one. But I think once you get past that threshold, Stipe survives, did what he did last time, goes wrestling, gets a takedown. This is Stipe's fight to lose, guys. Stipe's a heavyweight champion, so I think he's being a little disrespected. I mean, you can get him for plus 120 at some places right now, guys. Man, don't disrespect this guy. I'm telling you, guys. But this is a really tough one to pick, guys. I'm actually going to be doing some props here, so I'm going to go with Miocic by decision. I really think that if this fight goes to decision, it's obviously going to be because Stipe out-cardioed him and did good. And we can get him at plus 450 by decision, which is what I locked in at. Just a little half-unit bet there. And then I'm going to do Ngannou round 1 and Ngannou round 2. And I'm just going to do that because I really think after round 2, it was really out of the woods. Plus 200 round 1, plus 550 round 2. That'll kind of be the hedge. The only way we're going to lose this is, in my opinion, if Stipe gets the KO, which is possible, guys. I mean, but honestly, another way to look might be if you really want to get fun, Stipe by submission. Like I said, he did try to go for that guillotine choke, but I don't know why he gave up on him. He must not quite have been in position. But I'm telling you, Francis can, if he's on the ground, he's going to be in bad position. Stipe can get a choke, and I'm sitting here staring at plus 1,600, plus 1,800, 18 to 1, guys. That's worth throwing a little bit on, so we might do that. All right, anyways, let's go to the co-main event, guys. We're going to have Tyron Woodley and Vicente Lucas. I'm just going to say right off the bat, guys, this isn't the Tyron Woodley we all know. He hasn't had a knockout win since 2016. He has just been gun-shy. There's no other way to put it. He hasn't been the knockout artist that we all think of him as. He hasn't thrown punches. He hasn't really gone to his wrestling. Granted, he has fought the top of the top, and mostly those guys have been wrestlers: Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, Colby Covington, and Woodley's still tough. He was able to survive those, and really he only went out in the Colby fight because of the rib injury, which is another factor, guys. It's only been about 6 months since that rib injury. Is he coming back too soon? Who the hell? Where has he been training? Who's his coaches? We don't even know. Dean Thomas, I guess, but guys, he's 39 years old. Let's talk about Vicente Lucas. Vicente Lucas never been knocked out. If we just go by the numbers here, he's never been knocked out. We look at activity here. Vicente Lucas averaging almost 6 significant strikes per minute. Tyron Woodley 2.3 significant strikes per minute. Guys, this is going to be Vicente Lucas attacking, volume. Tyron Woodley does not know how to be the nail. He only knows how to be the hammer. And I'm telling you guys, Vicente Lucas will be the hammer that night, and Tyron Woodley will be the nail. I think Vicente Lucas, if you're looking to get a little value since he's sitting at minus 240, you could look to go Lucas wins by decision. I really think that's a good bet at plus 150. You're getting a little bit of value there. I think that's the most likely outcome. Could we see Tyron Woodley get a KO? Sure. I'm not going to bank on it, though, guys. I'm really not going to bank on it. We're going to go to the next fight. We got Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida. The Sugar Show is back. One of my least favorite fighters of the UFC, although I do respect his talent. I think this will be the second toughest fighter he's ever fought outside of Chito Vera. Thomas Almeida once was an up-and-coming guy. Kind of got fed to some sharks, and he just really has been I think he's lost like 5 out of his last 6. This is a pretty good matchup for O'Malley. Almeida, though, he does kind of have a glass chin. He is able to be knocked out, but the blueprint for O'Malley's out there. I think he's very, very hurtable. He seems like just a guy that's able to get injured easily, and so I think that those guys are really going to attack his legs. I'm sure he knows this. So Almeida's got a chance, guys. There's no way I'm laying the minus 300 on O'Malley straight up. I would look at the KO prop at plus 120 for O'Malley. And if you wanted to bet Almeida, honestly, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you, guys. I think O'Malley's a little overrated. I think Almeida by KO or TKO, just because you could get really just any kind of in the distance stop. I think you could get, because I really could see O'Malley being hurt here. But guys, the bet here to me is the fight does not go to decision. Said that minus 190 is what I got it at. I just think this fight is going to get finished some way. So that's where my money's at. I got a unit on that. All right, we're going to go to the next fight. We got, let's see, who do we got next? Yeah, we got Jillian Robertson and Miranda Maverick, guys. So this is one, guys, this is going to be my big dog pick. We're going to go Jillian Robertson here. I think she's being severely undervalued. Miranda Maverick definitely probably got the advantage of striking, but Jillian's very good at getting the fight to the ground and just selling out. That's what she does. She's going to have the advantage on the ground. She's a bulldog on the ground, guys. I really think that as long as she can get this fight to the ground, I really, really, really think she's going to be able to get a finish on the ground. But I also think Miranda Maverick, if this was able to stay standing, she could get the finish on the feet potentially. This is another one that I'm going to be betting the fight does not go to decision at plus 120. Usually don't bet that on a female fight, guys, but I'm going to be betting that today. And also, I will have a half unit on the dog, Jillian Robertson, plus 145 is what we got her at, guys. I'm really banking on her to implement her wrestling, maybe get the submission. And if she doesn't get the submission, guys, and it doesn't go to decision, prop misses, then at least we got her, because I really think she's going to be able to dominate with takedowns and control time. So we're going to go to the next fight. Last fight that we're going to talk about, last fight on the pay-per-view, we have Jamie Malarkey versus Kama Worthy, guys. This is a really fun fight that's going to be kicking off the pay-per-view. These guys are evenly lined almost. Kama Worthy, the slight favorite, coming at -120. Jamie Malarkey coming back at +105. Guys, both these guys are good fighters. Both these guys are entertaining guys. Kama Worthy is the kind of guy. He's very, very patient. He's a counter striker. He can land a shot. He's the kind of guy that could be losing the fight. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? You're not having any activity, and all of a sudden he lands a shot in the middle of the second round. Boom, knockout. He just has that guy. It reminds me kind of the old Conor, where Conor had that precision that it just hit you in the right spot. You just fell down. But the other problem with Kama Worthy is he's been knocked out plenty too. He does kind of have that issue. However, something that people don't talk about with that is that was when he was at 145. A lot of those knockouts were when he was cutting too much weight down to 145. He is now been at 155 his last few fights, and he has looked so much better as far as his chin goes. So I really, really think that that's made a big difference for him. Now, where this fight could be won for Jamie Malarkey is he is very good at getting takedowns. He did very good against Brad Riddell. He's just the kind of guy that just really tries to go for the takedowns, and so I think that he could get Kama Worthy in a bad position potentially. This is a really tough fight, guys, to predict. I don't know. I'm not going to be betting anything, so I don't even know who to pick here. I'm going to go Jamie Malarkey. I'm going to go actually Malarkey by decision. Let's see. What can we get Malarkey by decision? We can get him on +300. I think that's a good prop for you to just sprinkle at. And guys, that's going to be it as far as predicting the fights for you guys. I'm not going to go over any of the prelims, but I just want to remind you that when it comes to props, just keep it small. Props are just a fun thing to do, kind of a degenerate thing for me. That way I can have action on every single fight of the night, just throw, a little bit, because then it makes it fun. You don't always, and the thing with props, guys, you don't always have to choose the most likely outcome. You just have to look at the odds and see which odds make the most sense, because sometimes you go, oh man, I only think there's a 10% chance that he gets a submission, but the odds, you're going to get a 15% chance. And so you got to find those spots, obviously, but props are not a lucrative thing, guys, long term. They're more of a fun thing. They're great to use to hedge with, but I highly recommend sticking with straight bets if you're betting serious money. This should be a really fun night, guys. UFC 260, Miocic versus Ngannou 2. Oh, guys, and I just remember one last thing that I really wanted to mention about Vicente Lucas and the Tyron Woodley matchup. Guys, when it comes to Vicente Lucas, we have to remember who his head coach is. Henry who? What does that mean? That he's the head coach. Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns. He has got these guys ready in the last few years. His athletes, his fighters, he's been preparing for none other than Tyron Woodley. This will be the third time. And guess what, guys? Guess who Gilbert Burns used to emulate Tyron Woodley during that entire training camp that he had for Woodley? That's right, Vicente Lucas. He is very familiar with what needs to be done. I just really wanted to mention that, guys. I forgot to say that, but coaching, they're already ready for him. They know his style. One more reason to pile on Vicente Lucas, guys. All right, thanks for tuning in again, guys. Find me on Twitter at PicsFromPrince. At PicsFromPrince. Subscribe, like. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and let's win some freaking money.